Hello Pisces, it's Jenny Fitterer here and welcome to your February Tarotscope. I have a single card for you for the month of February and we're just going to see what's coming up for you this month. A few of you have some birthdays, so happy birthday to you who have your birthday in February. I am kind of at the end of a cold right now, so if I'm a little congested or sneezy, bear with me. So I'll just have my very gravelly voice on today. The card that I have for you for February is the Six of Coins reversed. So this is the way that it looks the right way up. We have this figure here. He's kind of got like a halo around his head. It's kind of in a saint figure. We've got a couple people kind of reaching out to him. And above, we have this big kind of figure of these arms and this head. And in the shape of him, there's this goblet and these kind of scrolls or rolls or something like that. And then we've got the coins above. And it came out upside down like that. Okay? So we're just going to see what the Six of Coins has to say for you this month. Okay, Six of Coins, productive needs. The three figures represent different aspects of giving and taking. Whenever coins are spent to satisfy real needs, both parties involved win, the one spending the coins as well as the one receiving them. Do not waste your time giving alms or appealing to someone's charity. Much more is needed here. The figure on the right has a halo around his head. Again, Dali can be credited with emphasizing the divine dimension. Whenever giving and taking become one, whenever strengths and weaknesses are reconciled, a divine blessing can be felt. This benediction is represented by the sketchily drawn figure with the raised arms in the background. Inside this hazy apparition, a red chalice or a glass with red wine and a tablet with 8 rolls of dough can be seen. These items symbolize the Christian concept of transmutation. Bread and wine provide physical as well as spiritual nourishment. Whenever you use your talents to satisfy your needs and use your needs to stimulate your talents, there is always something to be gained. Both aspects will benefit by the result, a true win-win situation. In this manner, you can transform plain wants and banal necessities through blessed creative acts. Practical advice. New ways of realizing your own needs and of understanding the needs of others are called for. Learn to distinguish productive from unproductive needs. The value of that which you own is greatest when as many people as possible benefit from it. In a sense, you own only that which you give away. Focus upon realizing a gain for all parties involved. This is much better than managing deprivation. Okay, Pisces. So, this card is always a really good card because it brings back a concept that I think is often lost in our culture, which is, sorry for the sniffles here, which is that giving and taking or giving and receiving are two balanced ends of the equation. We often have this emphasis on the fact that giving is better, that there's some sort of moral high ground to being a person who gives, which implies a sort of weakness or moral low ground to need to be receiving. And there's can often be that kind of power struggle of those who have or give in charity to those who don't have. And so they're kind of dependent, or the people who need are kind of leeches sucking on the hard working of others. Like there's a lot of weird narratives around giving and taking or giving and receiving. And this is really kind of bringing them both into balance as saying they are kind of two sides of the same coin. In order to give, there has to be a receiver. And the fact that having needs it's not a good or a bad thing. It is a neutral thing because we all have needs. We all have everything that is alive has basic needs in order to continue their survival. So basic needs of food, water, shelter, comfort, all of those kinds of things. There's no like great martyred, oh, you're so noble to have these needs, and there's no like downside of you're weak to have these needs. They're just a fact. Just the fact that I have 2 eyes. I also have needs. And that's built into us as living beings, and that's part of what we have been able to achieve as a culture and society of people that work together, and also of us as being beings in an ecosystem where our needs are a niche that fulfill the needs of somebody else in the ecosystem as well. So this is really card is reminding us to think about our needs and the needs of others in a different way than we've kind of been told to. And it's talking about bringing what can often feel like a chore or a judgment into a blessed act. So there's this element of, we can think of blessed things or sacred things as being all this high-ended ritual or magic or like these really grandiose kinds of things. But we're really also reminded that the sacred exists in the everyday. The sacred exists in the boring and the mundane, in the little things. It's not always really flashy. Excuse me. So there's a kind of way that we can kind of bring a sense of, and but you may have different kind of feelings on certain words like worship or sacred or blessed. They may kind of have either religious connotations or different kind of connotations. So whatever word kind of fits with you, and if it doesn't really work with you, that's fine. But it's like, it's the beauty, it's the peace, it's the, I don't know what else to say other than sacred, that just kind of brings this rightness into the fact that everything that we're doing here is good and right. To need something is good and right and normal. To then be able to give is good and right and normal. There's no judgment here. This is just life, which is engaging with itself, and that in and of itself is blessed and sacred. So this card is really trying to suggest to you that this month you kind of examine that relationship and see how that might be showing up in your life. Whether you have tended to be the overgiver, feeling like you get your kind of moral pat on the back and feeling like a good person by always giving and never having needs, and so you maybe shame your own needs. Or maybe you're somebody who's really felt that your identity is actually in having needs, that's maybe how you get your attention and your love, that one of your needs is to be able to feel that others are feeding into you. And so you often feel like I really lean into my needs because that's the only way that I feel like I can be in relationship with others, is to have them be feeding into me. And you've kind of lost the sense of how you can also stand up and be giving as well in that relationship. So it's going to look different for all of you. The first 2/3 of February is Aquarius season, and Aquarius is one of the elements of Aquarius is having to do with humanitarian good. So thinking about what is good for everybody and what is good for the collective. So we can kind of start with this month of thinking into what is actually the benefit to all of us as a human community, as all beings and ecosystems around us, to rethink and try to bring back into a healthier relationship, this relationship of giving and receiving. And how could a healthier concept of the balance and the reciprocal relationship of giving and receiving really benefit all of us? And then we can get out of our own little head and think about, but also not in a martyred way of, oh, what's good for everybody else except me. No, it's good for all of us, including me. And so if Aquarius season up till the kind of 2/3 of February is a really good time to be exploring that, then we are going to roll into Pisces season for the end of the month, and so some birthdays for some of you. And Pisces is really one of the elements of Pisces is this really big aspect of generosity, and it's giving through being so connected with everybody else. So one of the archetypes of Pisces is, of course, this sort of feeling of dissolving and this extreme empathy and connection with everyone around you, where it's easy to feel the needs of others and to want to serve them because they don't really feel that separate from you. So that's actually a really great kind of key to be thinking of, is it actually should be easy to give and take in a healthy ecosystem, because we realize that we are all part of the whole. We are individuals, but we make up the whole, which means we are actually one ecosystem and one unit too. So to be able to give to somebody else is equivalent to giving to me, and to be receiving from somebody else is the equivalent of receiving to myself as well. So the same way that my hand helps bring food to my mouth to digest to my stomach and bring energy for all of me, that's like me helping me so that I can give back to me as one individual. But we can see that we don't think that, oh, the hand is so generous, giving to this needy stomach. I'm like, no, the hand's providing a role. It's using its skill set to provide a role. And then the digestion is going to provide its skill set to give energy to the hand. So it really is this reciprocal relationship. We all have these needs that can then help benefit each other. And so if we just think, okay, you're the hand in somebody's life, somebody else in your community is the digestion, and we need to have all of our needs and our talents kind of working to give and receive together. So that's what, towards the end of the month, we're going to, the first 2/3 of the month, we're thinking, okay, we're still thinking kind of individuals forming a collective, and how can this be of benefit to everybody? And then we kind of go, oh, break through that illusion of separateness altogether and say, oh, that's how we benefit everybody in the community, because we realize we are the community. We are all connected to each other. Oh, of course it makes sense that our needs and our talents are all going to be reciprocal, because we're not actually that separate altogether. So that's kind of what's coming up for you this month, Pisces. And yeah, so good luck thinking about and considering these things and seeing how that pattern might be showing up in your life and how you can kind of step into that. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. If you do want any additional support, the Pay What You Can Aquarius season forecast is up and available on the YouTube channel as well. So that'll give you some hints on some of the transits that are happening. We're finally, all planets are direct after so many retrogrades. So that's going to be really, really helpful for this kind of forward motion in our thinking and changing. So do go and give that a check out. I appreciate all donations, and thank you for bearing with my sniffles. Take care, Pisces. See you next month, and happy birthday to you.